Welcome back, students. We'll be starting with the module 1, and in that module 1 we'll be discussing phylum Ctenophora. From this phylum Ctenophora, you have to study the silent features of phylum Ctenophora, and you have to study an example from this phylum Ctenophora, that is a pleurobrachia. And this phylum Ctenophora, the organisms coming under this phylum Ctenophora are usually called by the name comb jellies or sea walnuts. So before starting into the details of this phylum Ctenophora, we'll be just revising the classification of kingdom Animalia. This kingdom Animalia is divided into the protozoans and metazoans. Hope you remember the slight history of classification. Historically, Aristotle divided the animals into those with blood and those without. And Carl Linnaeus created the first hierarchical biological classification of animals in the year 1758 with his Systema Naturae. Then in the year 1874, Ernest Haeckel divided the animal kingdom into the multicellular Metazoa, which is now synonymously called as a Animalia, and the Protozoa, the single-celled organism no longer considered as animals. And in modern times, the biological classification of animals relies on the advanced techniques such as molecular phylogenetics, which are more effective in demonstrating the phylogenetic relationship or the evolutionary relationship between the taxa. In the previous semester, we have discussed the molecular phylogenetics, how the biotechnological aspects are included into, or the molecular systematics is included under or included for naming purposes. These metazoans or the animals are divided into parazoa and eumetazoa, and the parazoa includes Porifera, which you will be studying in this semester, and there are the eumetazoans which is divided into two types, that is into two groups, that is the radiata and bilateraria. And this classification is based upon the symmetry of organism, and the most living animal species are bilateraria, that is those members have the bilateral symmetric body plan, and this includes majority of the organism. As you can see, the link is following from here. These all deuterostomes, proterostomes, and all the other phylum which is coming under the bilaterans. And this radiata includes the organism which shows the radial symmetry, and only the two phylum comes under the radiata, that is Cnidaria and Ctenophora. And here you will be studying more detail about the Ctenophora, which comes under the radiata. So we will just pass on to a phylum, that is a phylum Ctenophora. This phylum Ctenophores are known as a comb jellies. They are called as a comb jellies. So these are the beautiful pictures of the members coming under the Ctenophora. You can see these are the beautiful pictures. They are marine organism. Then they are also the zooplanktons, and you can see the luminescent. These are the luminescent organisms. Then the Ctenophores are usually the marine organisms. They are also called as the sea gooseberries, sea walnuts, then comb jelly, then Venus girdle, cat's eye, etc. A lot of pet names are there for the members of this phylum Ctenophora. And most important feature is that their bioluminescent property, that is, they can give off light. You can see in this picture, this organism, they are giving off light. The name Ctenophora is derived from the Greek word called as a tene, means a comb, and phora means bearer. And there are the 8 rows of vertical ciliary combs over the surface of the animal, and hence they are called as a ctenophores. You can see here. Here you can see the combs, 8 rows of combs here. We'll show you in the next diagram. Then they usually resembles the cnidarian medusiforms. You'll be studying the cnidaria in the coming lectures. These ctenophores and cnidarians were formerly placed under the phylum Coelenterata, and you will be studying in detail about the cnidarians in the coming lectures, and after that we will be seeing this portion. And now let's see the silent features in detail. The first of all, these organisms are marine forms. Mainly the marine forms, they are solitary and pelagic. Solitary means they are seen as individual forms, and pelagic means these organisms are usually found on the surface waters, and they are the transparent forms. In this picture, it's clear they are the transparent forms. You can see all the internal structure here, and hence they are called as a transparent forms, and they have a tissue grade of organization. The tissue grade of organization actually starts from this class, and they have a biradial symmetry. This organism, which is coming under the phylum Ctenophora, is having a biradial symmetry. They are acoelomate animals, that is, a coelom is absent. Then non-segmented, you can't see any segmentation over the body. They are the diploblastic, that is, the 2 germ layers. The body wall is formed of only 2 germ layers. Then this mesoglia, that is a so-called mesoderm, contains the cells. That is, they are usually, if we call diploblastic, means there will be the ectoderm and endoderm, and in between you can see a so-called mesoglia. We will be studying with the picture in the coming slides. We will be discussing the mesoglia in detail. Then nematocyst is absent. So nematocysts, they are the structures which is present in this organism for protection. Then there are special adhesive discs called as a coloblast, or the lasso cells are present in the ctenophores. We'll be discussing this coloblast in detail in coming slides. And these are also the structures for feeding and the defensive mechanism will be coming in detail. Then the gastrovascular system is very much developed in these organisms coming under the phylum Ctenophora. You can see the 2 anal opening which is present. Then skeletal system is absent. You will not be seeing any skeletal system. Then excretion and respiration is carried out by diffusion. So there is no specialized structure or much modified structure for the excretion and respiration, but it takes place in this organism merely by diffusion. So these are the silent features. So once again, they are the marine, solitary and pelagic, transparent, tissue grade of organism. That means the tissues you can find the ectoderm tissue and the endoderm tissue. On the body wall you can see the ectoderm. Then there is a biradial symmetry, acoelomate without any coelom. The body is not segmented. Diploblastic, that is a 2 germ layers. Mesoglia, that is so-called mesoglia. Then there are the nematocysts, coloplast, gastrovascular system. Then 2 anal opening are present. Skeletal system is absent, and excretion and respiration is mainly carried out by diffusion. So these are the silent features, and we will be just continuing with the silent features. The nervous system is in the form of a nerve net. So throughout the body you can see the net-like nerves which comprises of nervous system, and an arboreal sense organ is present in the form of the statocyst, and a sense organ is present, and those sense organ is present in the form of a statocyst that we'll be discussing in later in detail. Then the cilia is used for the locomotion. They are the hermaphrodite. That means the male and the female organism or genital part is seen in the same organism. Okay, they are the hermaphrodite. Then the development is indirect. That is, the larval forms are present. That type of development is called as an indirect development. If the larval form is present in the life cycle, then that type of development is called as an indirect. And these terms are clear for you, isn't it? Indirect and hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite means both the male and the female reproductive structures are present in the same organism. Those type of organism are called as a hermaphrodite. And here the definition for the chloroplasts is given. Those are specialized cells in the tentacles of the comb, jellies or other ctenophores, and they secrete the sticky substance and they are used for capturing the prey, and it also helps in the self-defense. So the chloroplasts, those are the specialized structure. We'll be discussing in detail with a picture in coming slide video lecture section. The gastrovascular system is responsible for the digestion of the food and transport of nutrients throughout the body. So there is a gastrovascular system which helps in the digestion of the food and the transport of nutrients throughout the body. And this phylum Ctenophora is divided into two classes, that is Tentaculata and the Nuda form. The Tentaculata, the good example, it is a pleurobrachia, and all other ctenophores they possess the tentacles. And this organism, you can see the long tentacles are present, and the Nuda forms comprises the ctenophores that lack the tentacles. So these are the two classes of phylum Ctenophora, and for you in your syllabus you have to study in detail about the pleurobrachia. So this is a beautiful picture of pleurobrachia. You can see a fluorescing organism, transparent organism. This is the long tentacle. So it's a good example for the phylum Ctenophora under the class Tentaculata. So this is a diagrammatic picture or the three-dimensional picture of a ctenophore, that is a pleurobrachia. So in the coming video lecture, we'll be studying in detail about this ctenophore, that is the pleurobrachia. So that's all in this video lecture. Thank you.